Yo guys, what's going on? Sniper is back with another weekly recap. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, so trade at your own risk. Now, let's just get into it. So on these weekly recaps, all I do is I just go over my trades. What I do is I'll just bring up the trades on the screen right now so you can see like the trades that I took on my MetaTrader app. And then at the end of the video, I'll just show you guys like the amounts because it's really not that big. And I'm just here sharing my journey on my my ability to become a profitable trader. And let's just get into it. So this week I actually took 5 positions in the markets. I had 3 that came out in profits, and then I had 1 that hit stop loss, and then I also had 1 that I closed early at a loss, and then it came back and won. So let's just get into it with the first trade. I'll see you there. Yo, so my Microsoft Word, my Microsoft Excel hasn't been working, so my journal's a bit like all over the place or whatever. So I do post every single trade on my Discord, and with that said, this is the entry that I took. So we can see here that on my Euro CAD, I could see here that it's just in this overall downtrend here, and then I could see that it broke this level here, and it started to show a bit of rejection with those wicks on these candles here. So I entered in for a sell targeting these previous lows. Anyway, let's just see how it went. We can also see with the fib, I use these highs, this one right here, and I use these lows down here, and you can see that it's rejecting right around this 0.5. So if we head on, we can see that in the next hour it kind of went a bit above, and I moved over this previous key level here. So now I'm seeing that there's a double level, so up here, and then I'm seeing that it's like also like just a rejection, and then I entered in again. So I've actually got I've doubled in my position size here, even though it is currently both in negative. So as we look on, we can see that it ends up just dropping after once again it hits this second resistance area, this key level. There, that's when we can see that it starts to reject it quite a bit more heavily. Also at this 0.61 here, the bodies of the candles are closing beneath it. So as it starts to drop, then we can just see here that it continues to drop, and this here is where I actually just ended up closing it, taking my profits, and just being happy with that. I know I could have let it run and moved up my stop loss, but this here was already at least a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and it's better to just secure your profits and to let your trades run too long and actually just go back and stop you out. Because if we actually take a look, we can see here it didn't even hit this area where I was targeting my previous take profits. Instead, it's come all the way down here. I've closed it, and then it's kind of just hovered around there, and then we can see it's gone up, taken my stop loss out, and now it's continued up. And if we actually take a look at the markets, so that position was actually around here. It was like around here somewhere. There. We can just see that now it's starting to do this uptrend, so we kind of got in right at this reversal at the bottom of it. So I'm glad that I closed this position early. They were both wins, and I'll show you guys the second trade that I actually took this week. Yo guys, so just heading into my second trade, this is the position I took. So we can see that it's AUD USD. Now it's in this overall downtrend here. We can see I've drawn this with the arrow, and now as it's heading on this downtrend, I use the fib chart from this key level to this low because it breaks this this key level here. So I used right there at that resistance, like at that level, and then I use this low here. Once again, I could see that there was some rejection right here using the candles and the wicks of the candles. So my target was that as it's rejecting this 6-1 and this key level, then it might drop and continue back to go all the way down to here and take this take my profits down here. Now we can see that literally next like 2-3 hours it's still kind of rejecting, kind of dropped into profit, and then we can just see that it's just shot up like crazy, and it stopped me out. And so like that really wasn't that good of a trade. It did stop me out, but then at the end of the day I was still in profit for the whole week, as I did double up on my position prior. Now that was really it for that trade. It just simply didn't go the way I expected it. I thought that it would continue its overall downtrend, and it didn't, and so therefore we got stopped out. So heading into the next trade was on New Zealand dollar USD. Now for this, I wasn't really too happy with the way I did it, and it was also one of the longest day trades I've ever taken. So let's just get into how that one went down. Alright, so heading into my next trade, and the last one that I took for the week was actually on this pair, right? New Zealand dollar US dollar. What happened here was I entered in early on, so I entered in here, and then I actually closed it when it was in negative, probably around here somewhere. And then once again, this was because I just kind of had a feeling that it would become a bit bullish on the market, and it wasn't really rejecting this level too well. Now something that I can see now looking back onto it is that it's rejecting this 0.78 level like quite a few times. So we can see here once it's testing it, second time it's testing it, and this is the third time it's tested it and it hasn't. So for me, what I probably should have done and thought of is that, let me just, oh, I can see a key level here. So what I should have done is that I should have waited for this rejection on this 0.78 and then entered in, so I could have moved my entry up to like here. That would have been much better, but I didn't do that. So let's go into the reason why I took this trade. The reason why I took this trade is because it was in this overall downtrend here, I can see with this arrow, and then I saw a break of this area, and then it came back and retested. And using the fib from this previous high down to this low, we can see that this 0.6 level, and there's this 0.5 level, and the key levels in between. So it kind of has a few reasons to continue heading towards the downside. So I did enter in here, and it was so close to hitting my stop loss. Like, look at that, I don't even know how close that is. Let's just see until when it hits it. It was 0.5 away from my stop loss. Anyway, so it didn't actually stop me out here. Instead it came back all the way down to here, and I ended up closing this at just $20. I mean 20 pips, roughly around here. So I ended up closing it here. As soon as I closed my position, it ended up dropping. I would have closed it probably down here, but I did close it early because it was around 3 AM on Friday, and the markets are going to close in around 2 to 3 hours. I think it was a bit closer to 4 AM for me, my time. And I don't really like to take my trades over the weekend, and so I did end up closing this at a negative, but then I closed it at profit by more. So even though I closed it in negative and in profit, my profits were bigger than my losses, and so therefore both trades on this pair ended up coming out at a positive. Now we can just see here that after I did close, it kind of ended up pushing back up, and it's probably going to go back up to here. But you know, for me now, I did end the week on a green, pretty happy about it. There was some things I could improve, and let's just the next part of this video is just going to go into the trades that I missed. So the only pair that I was willing to take a trade on that I didn't take an actual trade on was actually Australian dollar US dollar, besides this position here. So besides the one that stopped me out at a loss, there was actually another position I was willing to take, and now that one was just around here on this break and retest. But let me tell you why I didn't take it. So I did use my fib chart from up here down to here, and I can see that it was in this overall downtrend, so therefore I'll be looking for a sell, right? So now I can see that it's kind of rejecting this 0.6 level, and this 0.5 level is being rejected here. I guess you could call here, but here as well, and then here. So let me tell you the position I was looking to take that I didn't take, that could have been pretty good. So if I just get rid of that, I can see that there's a break of structure right here in this downtrend as it continues to create a higher high and a higher low. So what I was saying is that, give me one sec. So I was using the fib from down here to up here, and now here I can see that this was a position I was looking to take to go long from here and target these highs up to here. So what I'm saying here is that I can see that there's a key level here that's been rejected. I can also see that it's on this 0.61 level, so it has extra incentive to push back towards the upside, right? So here I probably would have ended up closing it as it was getting close to this key level, or even after a break, so probably around 40 pips, 30 pips, something like that. But the reason why I didn't take it once again is because if you've seen how I trade previously, I can see that it's now in this uptrend just for this little section, but the overall downtrend is here, and so we can see that it is kind of contradicting. It has contradicting trends, and I don't really like to trade it unless the setup does look extremely good. So that was really the only trade that I could have taken that I missed. But at the end of the day, I'm not too worried, as it's not really the best setup that I would take. Anyway guys, I hope your trades went well. Just let me know how it went in the comments below, because I actually read all my comments. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Also, if you want to check out my other socials, such as like my Twitch, Instagram, and what else is there, and Twitter, that will just be in the there'll be a link to them in the description below. So once again, just check them out. And I'm also getting a new mic, so the audio quality will improve. And I've almost hit my goal, so I will be doing a $50 to 1k YouTube series, hopefully just for you guys, so I can show you how to do it. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. See ya.